Hey guys, Ryan here. Sorry it's been so long since my last video. I was actually on vacation in Hawaii. I did schedule a video to go up while I was gone, so it wouldn't be so long between my videos. But that video was about Time Wonderland, and if you've been following that along at all, you know that a ton of stuff has blown up with Time Wonderland lately. So that video, 2 days after I made it, was already out of date. So I decided to cancel that upload. I'm going to redo that video later with all the new information. But in the meantime, I wanted to talk about a new project called Playable Games. This is one I was hoping to spend a little more time with before I made the video. I was in the middle of writing a script about it, and then it kind of started blowing up. So I wanted to go ahead and hustle and get it out there while there's still a potential opportunity here. Now, one of the things I've talked about on this channel a lot is, how a lot of these projects like Strongblock and Thor and even Universe, which I like, these aren't real, businesses. They're games with money that we're all playing together. But even though Strongblock started with a real business, that business has not caught on at all, and they don't really have any plans to fix that. It's all about tokenomics now. Kind of the same thing with Thor and all these. They're not real businesses, so they're fun to invest in, but eventually they're probably going to go away. One day they will be gone. One of the things I like about certain crypto projects is when they're creating a real business with a real product and a real potential business model where they could still be here in 10 years. So one of those projects, kind of the staple for that is Gala Games, which is a gaming company, and they have nodes, and the nodes will actually do stuff, and when you're earning rewards on those nodes, it's not just a game, it's being a part of a company. So that's why I want to talk about this company. Gala Games nodes cost, the founders nodes cost almost $100,000 now. So there are a lot of people who kind of wish they would have got on early. Like, I remember when that was $2,000 for one of those nodes that I didn't buy it. And now that's, kind of a leading company in the metaverse or the crypto gaming space. So here's this new company called Playable Games that's come up recently. And when I start talking about it here, you're going to notice a lot of similarities to Gala Games, because that's really basically what it is. They're kind of ripping off Gala Games' fundraising model. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Could be a good thing. It means you have a chance to get in early with some risks. But the basic idea here is the same as Gala Games. You can buy a node. Their nodes are structured basically the same way as Gala Games. You buy them for a set dollar amount. You buy it in AVAX, but it's, they're adjusting the AVAX price to match a set dollar amount. Every 100 nodes that are sold, the price goes up by $100. So right now you'll see the current price is $2,600 for a node. There are 76 more nodes for sale at this price because there's been 2,524 sold. So when 76 more are sold, when we hit 2,600 sold, the price will go up to $2,700. And so on. So the longer you wait, the more expensive it gets. So one of the nice things about this project, like Gala Games, unlike a lot of the node projects, this is a real team of real people who are doxed. You can scroll down on their website. You can click on their LinkedIn profiles. These are real people. I'll talk a little bit more about what kind of people they are later. Nothing bad or anything, but they're real people, and they're docs. So this isn't going to be a rug pull, most likely. This is super early, lots of risks involved, but most likely one of them, they're not just going to run off with everyone's money and disappear because they are doxed. So that's unlikely. Always possible, but unlikely. Now, when you buy a Gala node, you're buying a license for a node, and you actually set up that node on a server, whether that be a VPS or a real piece of hardware that you have. You're actually running a node, and that is the plan here. But people have started talking about this project a lot lately. One thing that's kind of been lost in the shuffle is that's not actually what you're buying yet. You're buying the license, but you can't run the node yet. So Gala Games has talked a lot about creating NFTs for node holders so their nodes can be transferred and stuff. In this case, with Playable Games, you're already getting an NFT right off the bat. But you don't actually you can't actually run a node off the bat. The NFT is kind of a placeholder until they launch the nodes. This is super early, years behind where Gala Games is right now, potentially. So you get the NFT, that's a placeholder for the license. When they launch the nodes later this year, phase 2, you'll have to run an actual server, whether that be a virtual server or a piece of hardware, and you can put all your nodes on one server. Now, phase 3, which they have mentioned is going to be about a year from now, then you'll need a separate piece of hardware or a separate VPS for each node license. So if you have more than one, you'll need to run each one on a separate server. One thing I do want to note, I meant to mention at the beginning, Playable Games, that's Playa3ull.games. The B is a 3, whatever, kind of, I don't love it, but it is what it is. So they're very early on in this process. So they have they're working on their first game, right? Which is Roboto Dogos. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Roboto Dogos. They have this quick little 10-second snapshot of, a robot dog moving around with a horrific frame rate. Like I said, super early. Gala has their first game out. They've got a bunch more games coming out real soon. You're looking at a while before you're going to see any kind of game release. So what do you get for running a node in the meantime? Right now, what they're doing is they are dropping, I believe 6 million. I could be wrong on that number. 6 million of their bull tokens per day as an airdrop to node/NFT holders. So, with Gala Games, you run the node and your rewards are based on how much people are playing the Gala Games and how much your node is being used and what it's actually doing. And that's the plan for this in the future. Right now, they're just airdropping tokens to everyone because, I think they know everyone in this node space is expecting some kind of daily payout. So about, I think 8 Eastern, I think is the time every night. They're dropping out about 6 million node tokens divided between all the node holders. So a few days ago when I looked at it, when I was first looking at this project, that was about 3,000 bull tokens per user. And a bull token is worth about 1 cent right now. So that was about $30 a day. As more people buy in, that 6 million will get split up more and potentially be less. Of course, the price of bull could change in one direction or the other. I'm going to talk about that a little later too. This is the price of bull. Sorry, it's 1.5 cents right now. It's gone up a little. So that's kind of the lowdown with what you're getting here. They're also trying to, unlike Gala Games, which is doing all their development in-house, they're trying to create a platform here where other game developers can come to them and they'll help them launch on this Playable Games network. So not necessarily doing everything in-house because they only have two game developers on the team right now. So they're not going to be able to make anything huge like some game studios. So one of the things I do want to talk about though, and the price to get in a node right now is $2,600. It may be a little more by the time this video is done uploading and processing. So not a tiny investment, but it's not $100,000 like buying a Gala node. You're getting in early with the hopes that this company catches on. And one of the things I like to do in this channel to kind of separate myself, and one of the things I don't like about a lot of other YouTube channels that are crypto-based, is a lot of crypto-based YouTube channels only give you the good side of things and aren't realistic about the downside. There are tons of Thor and Strong and whatnot videos that just don't even mention that the actual meat of the business doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't really work. So I don't want to step on those projects. I am invested in almost all the node projects. They're very fun and there's money to be made there in some cases, but I think it's necessary to have a realistic view of what you're getting here. And that's one of the things I always try to provide on this channel. So obviously super early, lots of risks with Playable Games. I wanted to comment on a few of the things that were mild red flags for me. The first of which is the team. It's great that they're doxxed. That is a super step in the right direction for crypto projects and for having something that is at least trying to become a legitimate business. Unlike some of those node projects like Universe Nodes, I love. They're fun. There's no business there. There's no plans for there to be a business there. It's a money game, right? But this one day could be a real business. So what do we think about the people involved? I haven't looked into them a ton, but I've heard, some other people talking about it. I go in the Discord. Getting in the Discord in these things is really helpful. All these projects. I do that before I make a video on anything. I spend a good chunk of time in the Discord and kind of see what's going on because the developers are usually there answering questions, and they are for this project as well. One of the things I see a lot in the Discord is, oh man, just imagine if this thing is even for $2,000 buy, and imagine if this becomes half of Gala Games. That would be great games, and that's only if it's half of Gala Games. Imagine if it's 3/4 of Gala Games. Okay, true, but this is not the same kind of team that is behind Gala Games, right? Gala Games was run by the ex-CEO of Zynga, a relatively popular, very successful video game franchise business. And they have real game developers who have been part of successful games before and whatnot. There's a lot of reason to be optimistic there. You gotta go a little more on faith here, right? They're real people. We know who they are. Their resumes are okay. If we look at the founder here, Jonathan, goes by the moniker Old Bull. He's a marketer. That's usually not my favorite thing for crypto projects. My experience with crypto projects that were headed by marketers has usually not ended well. But sorry about the dings. I'm getting some texts. We go down here to his past. He's done some marketing. He started a boat share company, kind of meant to be like the Uber for boats that kind of went nowhere. So, it is what it is. He's a regular guy like you and me. Maybe he can start a successful video game business. It's not the same as the CEO of Zynga starting a successful video game business. Maybe he can make half of Gala. I don't know. Maybe I could start a rocket company that lands reusable rockets. But I'm not Elon Musk, so there's no sense saying maybe what if his company becomes half of SpaceX, right? That's a leap. So another thing that I didn't love when I looked into the project is I don't love when projects focus on tokenomics. That's one of my big qualms with Strongblock right now. Anytime they're trying to reassure people about price, they're not talking about the business. They're talking about changes they can make to the tokenomics. So it's not a requirement that you do fancy tokenomics. The tokenomics on this one out of the gate are very poor from what I've seen, alarmingly a little bit. So one of the things that with all these node projects, and this one is no exception, the big problem is everybody who has a node is a liability for the business being sustainable. They have to be paid out every day. There's constant sell pressure. They're getting tokens that they can sell for a profit. That's counteracted by people buying into the project, right? Who new node buyers have to buy the token to create their nodes, or current node holders compound their token to create new nodes so they don't sell it. Whereas with this bull token here, you have all these node holders, currently 2,500 up to 50,000, getting all this bull paid out to them every day, and they don't have anything to do with it except either hold it or sell it. They can't compound it into a new node. There aren't new buyers coming in creating buy pressure on the token. There's only sell pressure for the token. So you can kind of see that in the price action for the token. We kind of heard about this project and how the node system was going to work, and you can see people started buying up the bull token in anticipation of that. Then, we found out that people were going to be able to create nodes in AVAX, and there was just kind of a dump here of bull because you don't really need it. There's no point in having it right now. It's kind of been consistent sell pressure ever since. So, like I said, tokenomics aren't necessarily my thing. They're great for temporary gains. They're not great for long-term sustainability necessarily, but it was a little bit of a red flag because they probably should have understood that. And they are going to be making some changes to that, as I understand it. Once 10,000 nodes are sold, I believe, then you're no longer going to be able to buy them in AVAX. You will have to buy them in bull. I think I've got that right. But again, this is something that probably should have been foreseen out of the gate. The last thing is kind of a me thing. When you go into their white paper here, you'll see the very first thing in their white paper, the first page after the title page. They have a quote here. Gamers both demand and deserve novelty. They need something new. As a game developer, one of my rules is there will be at least one thing in every game that I worked on that no one on the planet has seen before. So here we have a project that's basically just a straight copy of Gala Games. And, we have this quote front and center like a mission statement. We want to do new stuff. So that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It's not, any kind of tangible thing, but I didn't love that they say we're here to bring new things to people, and we're just going to straight up copy this other model for our company. It is what it is. It's not an actual game itself, so they could still very well create only games that have new, novel ideas, but just not great out of the gate. So that's what we have here. I wanted to get that out to you guys. This is a chance to get in early. I think a lot of people are looking for that. So I've been looking more for projects like that lately. And I'll have some more of that coming up here soon. So there are definitely risks involved. Super early. There's not a lot of, from my poking around, it's not a lot of super talent on the team like with Gala Games. Like some of these crypto games, you'll see, they're lead programmer is the lead developer Fortnite, not lead developer, but they were people who worked on Fortnite or Unreal Engine or these big successful games. From my poking around, I didn't really see any of that here. So you're gonna kind of have to hope they can actually make good games if this is going to be something that's super sustainable. But it's an opportunity to get in if that's something you want. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. I'm still very early in my YouTube journey, so it really helps me out at this point. If you want to see more content like this, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell next to it. Then you'll actually get notified when my videos come up instead of having to go find them. I do have a bunch of new videos planned. I'm going to do that Time Wonderland video that I mentioned, some updates on that project. I'm going to do some updates on universe nodes. They made a lot of changes there as well. I might make a Thor video here soon. That project's kind of right in the middle of the big sell-off I talked about in my last video, where there was going to be a 10-day window coming up with lots of selling, and you might get a good entry point. So we've had all that selling now. So I might try and make a new video about whether it's worth getting in now that the entry points are a little lower. And I do have a new node project, totally different than any of these other ones that I want to talk about. I'm constantly looking at node projects, passive income, active income. Doesn't even have to be crypto. I'm just out here to find ways to make money from home and share it with you guys. So if that's something you're interested in, please hit that subscribe button, and I will see you on the next one.